Will we need to bulk it up or not? So here we can see the thread is turning its right side towards the enemy because there is where the armor lays. A barrage comes in. Gmodism. You're most welcome back to Gmodism, and we are back into From the Depth. We are in the depth. It's pretty deep here, yes. So, we are continuing the build of the Battlecruiser, which is, well, of course crafted for Captain Scoobyrocks, our captain in the army of Gmodism, aka Patreon supporter. So, if you wanna become a Patreon supporter too, check the links and you see what in it's for you. For the captain level, for example, we can build a ship in approximately a medium-large size like this. I kind of thought this is a large ship, but everyone on my Discord seems to think it's a medium ship or a small ship. I don't know. But to me it's pretty large because honestly, I have to base the size of the ship basically compare it to the size of ships in game. So if we look at ships, if we look at the crossbones, this is 500. Oh god damn it, that's too far away. That's a little better. You can see the crossbones to me is a large ship, and you can see it's approximately the same size. So that's what I mean. We have to compare it to the size in the game, and yes, there are godly ships which is close to 2 million in material cost. They're very expensive and very strong, but that to me is like huge ships. Not super huge ships, because super huge ships, that's like the Eugene class battle carrier. That's just enormous, but that's too large for my PC anyway. Anyways, I shouldn't ramble about that. Now we can see the crossbones was really close, so he could pop our turret here with the crams because our lambs were not able to engage them in time. No, they were not. Maybe not lambs, maybe more like anti-missile missiles and stuff like that. In any case, this is the version you've seen last time, so I have been adding so much decorations and stuff to this, so we will load in the next iteration. And also, huge thanks to Captain Scoobyrocks, of course, for the continual support. So, anyways, here we have it. And I have added some decorations and stuff like that. Enjoy them whilst you can. So I just put Scoobyrocks Pride as a work-in name. We are going to contact him momentarily and see if we got some good name suggestions. And I thought proper to the theme, we should have some kind of smokestack with smoke and fire like that to make it look a little bit neat like that. Or at least that's that's what I thought. Alright, so in terms of systems, god damn it, did I add any systems on this thing? We're gonna do a proper walkthrough later on, but I think this is mainly decorative. We can see, I think it's mainly decorational. I think there might be one more turret. Yeah, probably not. I'm not sure. And here we have the next iteration. So I thought that smokestacks was a cool addition, but Captain Scoobyrocks, whom this build is crafted for after his wishes, thinks that the smokestack looks a little bit too, you know, a little bit too not cool. Wants a little bit more modern, futuristic, even though it's more, it's like diesel punk slash steampunk, this theme. This is basically the theme which was requested. So it looks a little bit more futuristic in that sense without that far thing. And this is of course, you know, steampunk, diesel punk. It's basically future technology, but with in an older setting-ish, if we gonna explain it super simply. But I guess you already know what those means. So we have removed that decoration, and we have instead worked some more on some fun additions. So we have a crew manning the ship. Here we have one guy trying to not get hit by the amphibious interceptors. These interceptors, as you may know, work against torpedoes and missiles, and crams too, if they are managed to hit them. They are amphibious. There are some other crewmen here and there. Here we have one. And we have one chilling by the rails here. We have one standing looking out there. Yeah, I added some fun mannequins. Ooh, and here we have a chiller sitting and chilling there. Yeah, so that's of course always mandatory to have some of those. Now let's see here. Oh yes, we have also decorated the interior here. So we have a little bridge here with some command. We have some screens and some view out over the seas. So we can command the weapons and sit there, and of course one of the requests that the Scoobyrocks wanted is that the ship should be walkable from like the entire ship should be walkable. Even though a request was not like no emphasis on interiors like that. Not that I'm sure how good interiors I even could make, but the theme of this ship should of course be its battle effectiveness, especially against a stronghold, and that's something we're going to test during this video. But even though the ship should be mostly combat focused, like actual results, he also wanted it to be completely walkable. So that's why we can walk down the stairs here. We go to this deck here, and this is of course where this Vigoletta Marksman 5 sticks out. And I try to make this kind of little framework to make it look a little bit like cast iron or something like that. Alright, and then of course you can walk down during some more staircases and come down to this area, where we have some nice decks, and well, one has to jump a little bit over the ammunition supply cables, I imagine them are, more like funnels. And you can walk around there and stuff. And let's see here, of course, we have some stuff that you can go down here, so you can go into the interior of the ship. And that's some pretty basic interiors, of course. We need to close these off, because otherwise the ship's floating chambers will not be divided. Yeah, so that's that, and here we have the extra engines and this area. You can see we can walk completely through it. Right. Now we should spawn in the next little iteration, and let me present to you the Army of Gmodism Fred. The requested name by Scoobyrocks for this ship is Fred, so this is the Fred Battlecruiser. And well, we did that and add some more cosmetic things, I believe. Honestly, I don't quite remember exactly what was new, but as you can see, the ship remains with its form and shape and stuff like that before. What I've basically also done is that I have been setting up the power priority and stuff like that, so it should also be like efficient, so that the right systems drop their power. Like the least important systems like decoys will drop the power first. We're gonna do a instant tutorial about that later too. If you don't know how to do that, that's quite important, and it will be coming up. So that's good. When did I add these? Did I add these now? No, I added them before, right? These are extra. Yeah, I had them before. Yes. I'm getting confused. So there we have that. We're getting close. We of course have an ammo loading crane and stuff like that, and it's definitely soon close. We're very close to battle testing this thing. Oh, and as a little side note, This is the hollowed out version of the ship, where all weapon systems, defensive or offensive, except the LAMS system. The LAMS system were indeed left alone. Scoobyrocks did require to have a version where the weapon systems are removed, so he can fill in his own systems and experiment a little bit to basically learn how to make a maybe to learn and get some improvements on making hulls and stuff like that. So most of the systems are well, removed here, as you can see, but I just wanted to show you this. Here we have some open holes for here we have like exhausts for the auxiliary engines and stuff like that, but other than that it's pretty open. One other thing, of course, the smoke, the laser defensive systems, so the laser warners and the smoke systems, they are intact. The shielding systems were pretty integrated into the ship as well, so I left the shielding systems. I basically asked them, like, the following things are pretty deeply rooted into the ships. Do you really want me to remove them? Because it will be a lot of work to basically, well, replace them with the exact same setup. So, and he thought that, yeah, maybe it's good to leave them. So I left them. So the lamps, as you can see, they are done here. And we got, well, this is the EMP insulated container where the missiles reside, so they can't be EMP zapped and stuff like that. Yeah, so he will be experimenting with that, and I don't know, maybe I will see sometimes another version of the Fred on how that could look. And here we have the tubes for where the top crams stick out as well. Other than that, the ship is pretty intact. The most of the engine systems down here, they are removed, but I did leave these propellers here and here, just because it's a main design feature of this vessel, and if you remove them, it will be so much slower. And of course, one could replace them if one really wants to too. But yeah, that's in any case that. So that's the half hollowed out hull, and you can see I had a pretty. I don't think my armor was too expensive, because with these systems removed, we have still the lasers and some engines. The cost of this ship is now 292,000. So yeah. Oh, and I remember what I added. So I talked a little bit with Scoobyrocks about the defensive capabilities, and one thing he wanted to make sure that was improved was that the lamps are really strong enough. So I improved the lamps, and I could fit the lamps down here. We have an extra battery down there. It is of course not EMP insulated, only one of the lamp batteries are EMP insulated, since we're working with a pretty space efficient design. And here we can see we have a little laser battery down here adding to the other ones. Basically, I don't know if it doubles the lamps, but close to that, because with the new engines that I added, I improved some engines as well. We have enough power, so we can run much bigger lamp system, and that's of course really valuable. So that was added. In any case, we should now be probably doing a little battle test. Oh, and I have started to collect some ships that I will use in a future Nether campaign playthrough. So, since I have a lot of old builds, I started to put them together. I took the good ones, basically deleted them in an earlier stream, which you can see on the Gmodist channel if you want to see it now. I just deleted my old stuff. I just went through my entire library and just deleted everything I was not happy with. And then I took the ones that I liked and put them in the right place. So here we have the Army of Gmodism 2nd Chapter Frontier Fleet. This is what it's called, because the first chapter, Frontier Fleet, is annihilated since last time I tried the Nether campaign. So here we have the different stuff here. You can probably recognize some things, like the earlier build we made for Lieutenant Esteria, like the Flygfisk, that's Flyfish, Patrol Diver, the Broadsword Battleship, like that. Here we have the Balloonfish, an updated version also made on stream, which you can see on Gmodist. Stop reminding people Gmodism, you're making them tired. Don't forget my Gmodism relaxation channel for some relaxing gameplay. Yeah, like I'm kidding, but I'm also not kidding. So here we have some attack planes. The Type A attack plane, which you saw in the Christmas campaign. We have the Slab hover tank, Aerobics jet fighter. We have my Filke, but an updated version. We have Subby class anti-surface. We have the helicopter, anti-naval, and anti-air. I made two versions basically. It's the same from the tutorial. And then we have the Draconia class battleship for some real expensive stuff. And we have the Flying Broadsword air battleship. That's insane. Fred class Battlecruiser. Here it is. So we'll spawn it in from here because this is the freshest version, and it's the ship we made for Scoobyrocks is in the second chapter thing. And I don't know, maybe or maybe not the Fred class Battlecruiser would be released, or it will not be released to the public, but to all our patrons, basically all my builds are always accessible, so it doesn't matter, even if you're in the $1 a month tier, you will be getting access to all my blueprints and all my stuff via a nice download with nice instructions, if that is something that interests you. Otherwise, I will drop from time to time some builds for the public. Like the Ryujin class battle carrier is actually released to the public after much speculation. Anyways, let me remove this HUD, and here we should have the current iteration of the ship, which most likely is the final iteration of the ship, if Scoobyrocks, of course, doesn't find something that has to be updated or some error or something. I don't think so. Also, do you remember that this ship is even? I don't remember who said this, but I said it's symmetrical and not asymmetrical, and that's, yeah, this is an asymmetrical ship actually. The build of this ship is asymmetrical, but we don't have a middle block, so the width of the ship is an even number. It's pretty unusual, but when we do that, we can get some pretty interesting and sharp edges in the front here, which really can add some character to your ship. But they are best made for one-siders like this ship, because if you do this, you can't put the turrets in the exact middle, and if you can't put them in the exact middle, you should not put them almost in the middle. No, you should put them completely offset in order to protect them, especially when we are one-siding like we are here. Anyways, here we have this ship, and I think we should do a little quick rundown of it. It costs 714,000 materials. It's 20,900 blocks. And do you think, write in comments right now, do you think this will beat the Stronghold or not? Remember, the Stronghold is 1.4 million, is it? So it's pretty expensive. And this ship was made to beat the Stronghold, but can it do it? Please write your answer in the comment, and you'll see soon in a little battle testing. And when you've seen that, well, you know if there will be a next episode of fixing this ship or not. Because if it doesn't beat the Stronghold, I need to change things until it does, if that's possible. I can't say for certain that it is possible, just from looking at the numbers. Of course, I already know, but let's say, looking at the numbers, I can't say it's possible, because remember, it's double the cost. It's gonna be pretty hard. And the question is like, can it beat a Stronghold? Maybe. But if it can beat a Stronghold, is it like 1 of 3 times, or like never, or like half the times, or like always? And that's something that you should write in the comments right now. Anyways, here we are at the little captain's seat. We have our assistant, our trusty army of Gmodism personnel there. And of course, if we look here, the main AI is of course Captain Scoobyrocks. That's if we don't sit in the chair ourselves, the spirit of Captain Scoobyrocks will go into this realm at the same time as he's in his other areas and control the ship. Because that's how that works. That didn't make any sense, Gmodism. What are you even talking about? Let's proceed with the video. So here we can walk around. I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty cozy to just walk around on top here, I think. And we can have that, and that's just to not make the laser thing, putting at the lamps visible. We can walk down there. We have an IR detector to detect some hot things. Because some of the AIs, they are targeted to shoot at hot things, like the Vigoletta Marksman, for example, because it can do a pretty good job at sniping stuff. These support struts are actually decos, because I don't want them to interfere with the cannon. And then we walk around here, and we can walk down here where we have an extra medium anti-cram and missile turret. So this thing will actually aim on a target, and these missiles will specifically aim at the target which this has shot it from. And this is actually an update I made to this turret during the early stages of building this ship, because I realized I didn't set that up, and when I set that up, this anti-cram and missile system were just so much more efficient. Like before, it did actually help to have them on a spin block like this, or a turret rather, but it didn't help super much. But after doing this, it really makes all the difference. All right, maybe we should walk. I should prove. Oh god, we almost fell down. I should prove that this ship is perfectly walkable. So let's walk down here, where we come to the back. We can look here. We can't sit in this chair because it is a mannequin and decos. And we can walk around and have a good time, and you know, it feels pretty calm. It feels like it's a pretty nice ship to hang around on. Here we have some intake for the jet engines, the brass cast lead cannons down around there. That's because they're 1,337 millimeters. We have the flag sea with steer, we have the kinetic sea with there. And remember, we improved the lamps. We have some mortars going on. We have the AoG dome shooting the 67 millimeter rounds. We have the, is this the type M or type N? I think it's the type N. And it shoots a Portimix. It's pretty efficient and rail assisted. We have our anti-missile torpedo slash missile, some extra of these, more missiles, tracking turrets in the front there, and all that fun stuff. Oh, and I did a huge addition to these things. I have finally understood how to make them real good, and I shouldn't use fins. I use turning thrusters only for these. And that is because when I use the turning thrusters for them, they can be so much more maneuverable. And even though these are facing upwards, they are so likely at hitting incoming cram shells. And we can stand here and enjoy the view. You know, I just love standing on this ship. I think it's a great fun ship to stand around on. I don't know, of course I built this and I'm biased, and maybe Scoobyrocks is biased too, because He had some of the good ideas we built this ship around, and he seemed to like it, or that's what he told me at least. And I like it a lot, but it's just so cozy to walk around with. All these different micro levels just add so much. It's just when I build Minecraft houses. If you want to see that, you should look at Gmodism Relaxation, by the way. But it's just when I do that, like having micro levels, different levels, just adds so much. Anyways, stop rambling, Gmodism. Here we can drop down into this little hall. Here we have the AoG Fred class Battlecruiser dedicated to Captain Scoobyrocks12345, built in Gmodism Industries shipyards M2. CC Fred, originally commissioned to challenge CC Fred is and that's because it's a heavy cruiser. It's CC. Originally commissioned to challenge the Onyx Watch Stronghold class vessel. Oh, AoG Invictus, as we must say. And then we walk down the aisle. Walk down the aisle. Isn't that some? It looks like marriage. Married at first sight. Woo! Stop flaunting your depraved television behaviors, Gmodism. Get back to the showing ship. Damn it. Anyways, here we have it. It looks as before, basically, because, you know, this is just some nice little mini interiors and stuff like that. So, the time has come, we should spawn an enemy. And behold! A crossbones has appeared, because I want to make it a tiny bit exciting, so we should begin with the crossbones, I think. Right. So the lamp systems are working hard. We can see the anti-missile turrets. I don't think they have any ammunition right now. And here we can see they're so fast. Those anti-missile missiles with the turning thrusters, you can see how extremely quick they are. Now the crossbones barrages some cram shells and it hit us right in the side here. It didn't destroy anything important, but that was darn close. Well, the stakes are higher. Maybe one missile system was damaged. Yes, I think so. And one shield too. So you can see some of the shields, they are actually placed on the turrets, so they will always be facing the enemy there. So there we have some extra shielding. We're getting more... Oh, we're getting shot with some flags too. Here we have our large missiles. These are some... will they get through the crossbones defenses, I wonder? They will indeed, but somewhat damaged, because that didn't do full damage now. Anyways, it's looking pretty bleak for the crossbones. Is it AI dead? What happened? Well, our fast-firing turrets, some will shoot on hot targets, and some change targets very often to deal the maximum amount of damage. And you can see the crossbones is down to 76%. And one thing should be mentioned, of course, and that's a lot of the the Fred's defenses are actually pitched towards anti. Look at those beautiful anti-missile missiles with turning thrusters. That's so smart. I'm so smart I invented that, even though I know everybody has been using that for ages. I just didn't know that it was so efficient. Anyways, a lot of the Fred's defenses are actually set up to deal with torpedoes, and the crossbones doesn't have torpedoes. So, and beyond that, the Fred is more expensive. A good bit more expensive than the crossbones. The crossbones come in at 450k, and this ship, the Fred, comes in at 714k. Yes, 15. So 715k. So, of course, we're a bit more expensive. Behold, we will spawn in the dreaded stronghold at 1.4 million. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, will we be able to beat it? Will we be able to beat this ship and satisfy the requirements of Captain Scoobyrocks? Who knows? Like, of course, you can always make a bigger ship to build to beat a big ship, but I didn't plan to make like a 1.5 million ship. I thought the end budget would be 700k, so I thought that, like, alright, let's see if we can make it work anyways. Let's see if we can use our 700k smartly in order to beat the stronghold anyways. Otherwise, we'll have to bulk it up a little bit. But, well, we shall see. Will we need to bulk it up or not? So here we can see the thread is turning its right side towards the enemy because there is where the armor lays. A barrage comes in. Oh no, devastation. That's a cloud. Oh no, I accidentally controlled the turrets. I thought we were AI dead there almost. That was sad. The flak series doesn't have barrels left, but it's still able to function. Nothing seems to have broken completely. Everything seems to be running, it's just looking a little bit sad. The mortars are firing away. Oh my god, the torpedoes are here. Oh my god, the torpedoes are here. Ooh, it reached it. Oh no. We got hit by more torpedoes. This is quite bad. Oh no. The stronghold packs a pretty hefty punch. It really does. Alright. Our turrets seem to be online still. More torpedoes incoming. God damn it, I'm following the wrong shells. Alright, we need to pause the game here. This is a little bit too exciting. So here we have the diff Seawis guns, and they should be able to shoot. And the lambs, they are even helping when these are getting a little bit too close. Too close for comfort. The diff guns, they seem to have missed. And the torpedo hits again. The stronghold is down to 95 and the thread is down to 89. Wow. It's looking real bad. It's looking real bad. And you may say, I'm not surprised. And I would understand why you would say such a thing. Well, our missiles get through, but they hardly do any damage. Here we can see what our weapon systems are doing against the stronghold. The yellow shots are the Vigoletta Marksman, and that's Sabot frag. I don't know, I know, it's weird, it's a weird shell, but I did tests, and it's actually better than AP frag for this particular speed and caliber. I can't say exactly why, because it looks like it overshoots the AP value, but it just works better. Let's see here, what will happen with the cram volley incoming there? Ooh, it did a hit. So now the thread is struggling a little bit with keeping afloat. Or it's not really struggling, but it has to use engine power to do that, because I imagine we have a little bit too many holes in our side right now. Right. The shields on the stronghold are really holding up pretty well. They are really angled and really good at making shots bounce. However, we shoot pretty often. We have some shield disruptors in our party mix as well. So that helps less shells get deflected, as well as, well, the fast firing shells, they are maybe a little bit less important, but the slow firing shells, like the crams, they are real. Ooh, look, crams! The mortars came down. We have 2 smaller mortars, but sometimes I kind of forget they even exist. Here we can see. Mortar incoming. It's gonna miss, right? Okay, that was so close at missing, but it didn't, so that's good, I guess. What did it do here? Very minor scratch. Or did it? No. Here we have the shield disruptors. So the shield disruptors, they're pretty good actually. They do some creeping EMP damage. Like when they get hit, it's like an AP EMP shell, but a really bad one. So they don't only deal with the shields. They also kind of deal with small detection systems and stuff like that. You can see, ooh, look. Lamb node is sad. How is the standing? Stronghold 77%? Fred class Battlecruiser 81%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the Stronghold has lost its ability to fight. You can see how damaged we are. This is just insane how much damage we have taken. Man. Look at that. It's like the entire ship is missing. Or the outside here. So wow, here we can really see we have put armor where it kind of matters. It looks like a really sad ship. And it is a really sad ship, and it doesn't have any front anymore. But it's still able to battle. Because I've put basically almost all of the resources on the armor in order to protect the turret and the AI and stuff like that. Not some silly bits. The superstructure is pretty good because it's large, and even though you can shoot some parts of it, you know, in From the Depth we don't need to care about structural integrity. So even though you shoot down one pillar, as long as there is one block connecting, the superstructure will hold up. So ironically, a superstructure that can be a little bit tall like this can be somewhat protected actually. Because it's also less likely it's getting targeted, and if it gets targeted, a lot of the times the shots will miss or shoot through. Well, we are getting some... oh man, we're getting some hefty torpedoes through here. It seems like all of the party mixes are still running though. And for all of those who laughed at my engines, which are auxiliary and down here at the keel and super easy to shoot, well, it's also very few blocks down here, and it's actually pretty hard for most torpedoes or crams to even aim at this area. So, ironically, they're also pretty safe. It's not very often they get killed. We have a leak in the steam system there. I wonder... let's see here. Add more fuel tanks. We have fuel tanks damaged. We are really low at power too, so I guess our LAM system may not be prioritized. I will just pause the game a little bit here. We seem to have an... we seem to have a... no cavities attached. It has been broken. Alright. Whoops, now I accidentally screenshotted this thing. But, on a good note, the Stronghold is not able to shoot much at us anymore. We have been using our smaller caliber to snipe out the firing pieces and important equipment in most of the turrets here. We got 3 big main turrets here, and they seem to be alive and well still. But the crossbone is down to the 70s. With all our different types of damage, we're almost sandblasting the poor stronghold. Oh! 1 big turret fell. And that's why I don't do turret nicks. I know there are different opinions on this. But the most competent people I've talked to is seem to have the position that it doesn't really matter if you have turret nicks or not. A well-built neckless turret and a well-built neck turret with deck armor are pretty, you know, comparable. The big difference is that for the neckless turret, you will need more armor against the firing piece and stuff like that. You probably need to spend more in armor. On the other hand, that armor may be you don't need to armor that part of the deck if you have necklace. So the deck armor will probably be a little bit more cheap. So there is probably a small armor, like an armor cost boost with having turrets with necks. Not a big deal, but a small thing. Here we can have the CW system. Oh my god, it's so efficient. It's this damaged, and my kinetic CWs together with some interceptors took out those very big missiles so early on. The flak CW system unfortunately got hit by a cram barrage in the early section, so we couldn't do much about that. Well, we're winning this battle. We won the first battle. This turret is no firing pieces. This turret also, we have eaten up the firing pieces. Yeah. And the crams are raining down from above too. So basically, wow! The stronghold was defeated by our Fred. The Fred, the army of Gmodism, Fred Battlecruiser, was able to take on the double-sized stronghold by itself and survive, even though it got hit by several barrages. And just to make sure that this was not a this was a temporary thing, we're going to do this battle again. We're going to do this in setting up a little custom battle, aka a tournament. I'm gonna use my normal ship rules for this. Let's see if we can find the stronghold. There it is. Select. So we have the stronghold here, and we have the AoG Fred Battlecruiser here in the colors of the Deepwater Guard, just because that's a little bit funny. All right. Alright, here we have them. And now I know that the army of Gmodism Fred is spawned at a disadvantage. I don't know if I will review my own rules and let like one-sider ships be spawned with a side towards the enemy, but I don't know, that's just something I never really done that. I feel like ships should be approaching each other with the nose forwards, and then they can maneuver. But I don't know. So, yeah, we're applying a little bit of a disadvantageous rule against ourselves here. But, you know, it is what it is. It will soon be lining up to be able to shoot at it. So, how does the Fred look in the Deepwater Guard colors, you think? Who knows? I want to slow down time here a little bit, because I want to make sure I have time to see what's happening. Alright, here we see the missiles in perfect unison, popping up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the anti-missile missiles popping up here. We have some more. This is the same missiles in the back and the front, by the way. We have a Kram barrage. Oh, lords. This one bounced on the water. That's kind of bad for us. And there we can see. Alright, we got hit under here. Is it making us lose our rudders in the front here? And the other ones, we have a pretty small profile here, so it seems that nothing else was hit there. But did we get hit on top of here? No. Alright. We'll speed up time a little bit again. Yep, we lost the front rudders, but, oh, on the other hand, the damage that was dealt was only surface level. That's super cool. Okay, good. Good. The Fred has started to turn its side towards the enemy, and that's probably a good idea. Alright. We have successfully dealt with the missiles. That means that the anti-missile missiles are now pointing down to deal with these, the torpedoes. And funny enough, we have a CWIS system which is kinetic, and if it doesn't have anything better to shoot at, it will try to deal with those torpedoes. As you can see, we have heavily invested in our anti-torpedo torpedoes. Here we have a complete line with medium ones, because the Stronghold's torpedoes are absolutely tanky. Here we have some smaller ones as well. I was a little bit sad about the torpedoes getting killed. Or I was a little bit sad about the torpedoes actually killing us almost. because I remembered our defenses were a little bit better. Oh no, look, here is kind of shallow waters. Will they be able to cope with this? Or will they just get stuck here? Yeah, they use a bigger curve, so these are the amphibious ones that are shooting downwards. The lambs are started to deal with the torpedoes here. You can see the flak system as well as the kinetic CWIS has been trying to shoot at this. The diff gun, I wonder if it already fired its shot. Ooh, lambs are getting out of angle. Interesting. It looks like it will get through here. Yep, it will. Bam! Taking a chunk off the side here and not getting through the bulk of the armor, but it is damaging the sideways missiles that will deal with the torpedoes. And these, oh yeah, they got stuck, didn't they? Yep. So because we're on some shallow water, they did not help. The diff guns anti-torpedo system, they're trying as well, but it got through as well. This is very interesting because I remember that this torpedo system did not, like the anti-torpedo system, did not let these torpedoes through when I tested last time, honestly. They took them out. But maybe some stuff has been changed or updated. Ooh, and here we got some other... We got some other hit. What happened here? What do we have here? This is... an APS cannon? Oh! We somehow... Oh, the torpedo make it so that we lost the Flaxy Whiz. Oh, well, it's always sad looking at your own design. Let's check. So the Stronghold is technically in the lead here. The LAM system were able to take it out, of course. Those crams. The initial volley is always the most dangerous one. Will the Stronghold deal with our... No? The Stronghold is not able to deal with our mortars, it seems like. We are sandblasting away. Oh, and there come some more mortars. When they hit turrets, it's pretty lucky. We can, like, destroy a barrel pretty easily. That's very nice. Ooh. Big missiles are dealing some damage. Those mortars missed. We're gonna see. We lost the Flaxy Whiz system, which was pretty good to deal with stuff like this. But we have the anti-missile missiles, and... like, I kinda remember these missiles to be a little bit tougher to take out, actually. But I don't know. Maybe it was just... who knows? Who knows? It might, you know, I don't know if it has, but it might also be the case that the Stronghold has been updated. But that turret is dealt with. But most likely it's, I don't know actually if the Stronghold has been updated recently or changed in any way. It might just be, it's probably just some minor game update that made it so that somehow the torpedoes going after us is less easy to take out. Like, this sandblasting method is pretty good against something with big flat cram cannons that are not so sleek. Of course the armor isn't sleek and bouncy like that, but the shields are. You can see how much the shield protects this thing. Some stuff looks like it's pretty EMP fried. Like, I don't know why this hasn't shot in, like, forever. Let's see if it's... It has blocks. Maybe we just ate up its weapon computer with our EMP then. Ba-dam. More missiles incoming. And they are slow, like the sandblasting and the missiles, they are picking away these cram cannon turrets. I haven't seen... Let's see what happened with our cram cannon shells. Ooh, okay. So the Stronghold's lambs are able to deal with our cram cannons. Yeah, well, that's the mortar. Why can't it deal with the mortars when it can deal with the incoming normal ones? Because it looks like it isn't even trying to shoot at the mortar shells dropping down. Boom! Not that it was active or alive, but now it's dead. So the Fred is at 96% and the Stronghold is at 80%. So we can see that the tides are always turning. Bam! Now we took out those torpedoes it's like sometimes we can take them out and sometimes not. I'm never getting my hand on that, but it's the combined kinetic CW systems, the one above and the one these below, together with the anti-torpedo torpedoes that does it. But again, I was a little bit surprised when the first volley of torpedoes actually got through, because when I tested it last time, maybe I was just lucky, that's possible. Maybe I just tested it like, I don't know, I think I tested it like 4 times in a row, and only one time torpedoes got through. So that's why I'm saying this. Maybe it was just lucky before, who knows. Seems that the Stronghold's lambs are a little bit sad. Ooh. Wow, yeah. The Vigoletta Marksman 5 is really doing some heavy lifting here. It's doing some heavy lifting. I don't know, it's probably picked up half of those firing pieces at least. And the mortars, they're not bad either. When they hit the turret, we saw before, they just cut off one barrel completely. Pretty lucky shot, but if you shoot enough mortars, you will get some lucky shots. Now we have bad weather as well. That's pretty interesting. Oops, right, we're not on it. Ooh! The Fred has collected 10 penalty points. And that's probably my elevation rules, because I set it to not, like, you can't be too low in the waters. And it might be catching those penalty points because it has some pretty big holes in it. So it's starting to go a little bit low, but it seems to be floating good enough. I wonder if the waves count, or if it's just the altitude. Or it's going too far away for my... yeah. I think it's just too far away. Because I got some rules that the ships couldn't be too far away from each other to not have sniper battles. But because the Fred class Battlecruiser, it's, you know... the poor thing needs to keep out of heavy fire. It goes 29 meters per second apparently as the top speed. I didn't remember that, so now we know that. Yeah, and of course, since it's battling with some big scary targets, we're trying to keep it away from the worst of it. You don't want to go in close brawl with something like the Stronghold if you don't have to. Like, how many weapon system does the Stronghold have even? To me it seems that the Stronghold is pretty... that's firing blanks. Yeah, that's just blanks. So it has some missile system, but the Stronghold is down to 67%, while the Fred is still at 96%. Of course, we could have invested even more in defensive systems to make it impossible for a volley to hit us, but I feel at that point we're probably sacrificing so much combat capability that we're basically putting all our eggs in the basket. We cannot get hit. And now we have put most of our eggs in the basket more Daka, because that always works. That's always the answer, always the right answer. But of course, like the Fred is actually, it probably has one of the most heavily invested systems for active defenses I ever made, because, like, proportionally to the ship size, because I usually don't like to spend much in active defenses. But when we're having a ship half the size of the Stronghold and trying to face it off, we just can't get the forward to be hit by all the shots. Because if we do that, we need to do the Secret Advisor style diff gun wood monstrosity in order to tank something like that. tank it with air. Right, so that is quite interesting. We won 2 of the battles pretty evenly like that. I don't think we have time for another battle right now. We can do some more proper battles in the future if we like to do that. We can pitch it against some other ships and stuff like that. Would be fun to try. And send in some suggestions on what we should pitch the Fred against. But right now I think that we have tested it against its destined foe, the Stronghold. And it does indeed deliver. Now, it got hit when I did these testing. I tried to sound like I didn't know the outcome. I don't know if I did a good job. Post unicorn in the comments if I did a bad job. Yes. Anyways, I tried to make it sound like I didn't know the answer, but I was actually a little bit surprised when the torpedoes got through in the first volley, because that was something I didn't see when I tested it earlier. Who knows? But I'm glad we are still winning this thing and surviving the Stronghold. So in any case, seems that our Captain Scoobyrocks12345 is happy with the build, and so am I, and I hope you think this has been a fun little journey to see this ship has been built and created. This should indeed be the last iteration of this particular series, but of course we will start another ship or craft or something building series later on, so stay tuned for that. In any case, we'll be back in the future. Ooh, the Stronghold DQ'd. With more videos. This is your host Gmodism, and huge thanks to the commissioned officer. Huge thanks to the commissioned officers in the army of Gmodism. Namely, Captain Scoobyrocks, Commander Eugene, Lieutenant Asteria, powered by Greed, Tyler Russ, LCG Canyon, and of course our stellar Gmodist, LCG Canyon. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel, and well, hope Scoobyrocks remains happy. See you next time. This is your host Gmodism, signing out.